So, Geometry Dash is one of my favorite games, and it's the reason my YouTube channel kind of exists. But there are a few things that kind of really annoy me, not just in the actual game community, but also the creator community. Because I'm a creator, a level creator, not a good one, but a level creator nonetheless, and there are just a few things that people do in levels that they just don't seem to feel, or at least think about and say, that doesn't look really good, or that just isn't right for Geometry Dash. So today I'm just going to kind of prattle on about a few things, that I think kind of are stupid, or just something people can easily improve on, but it's like a start, right? So let's get right on with the first thing. Okay, so one thing that really annoys me in here, this is the first thing, is movement. Now I'm going to play this level. It's got one toggle wall and one moving wall. So this is the toggle one. It just disappears. This one, it moves up. Pretty basic, right? However, there's something wrong with this already. I can tell something wrong. That is so simple to fix that could probably be done in less than a minute. So, the toggle trigger, it just disappears. It's not smooth, it just goes. It just disappears without a word. And the moving trigger has no easing, it doesn't, move smoothly and flow with the level. Now, I'm going to show you how we can improve in 30 seconds, and I'm going to do it in one take. So, all we gotta do is, add an alpha trigger right here. Give it group 1, fade time 0, fade time 0.5, and opacity 0. And that'll make this more smooth, right? If I put on preview mode, it'll make it fade away and then disappear. And the move one, it's even easier. All you gotta do is just give it something like that. You go into the trigger, and there's this thing called easing right here, and there's lots of options that you can use. No one uses them. I don't know why. Here we go. Save and play. Now it fades out, and this one will smoothly move upwards. Of course, it moves really fast, so it doesn't really make much of a difference, doesn't it? Alright, that's how you can easily improve your level in like 30 seconds just by changing some of the triggers. And if you don't make that mistake until right from the beginning, you don't have to edit all your triggers afterwards. So, there you go. Moving on. Alright, next on my list is invisible portals. Now, of course, invisible portals can be used in a nice way, but this is an example that isn't good. So I've got a simple straight fly challenge here, right? You don't see anything. It's all pretty basic. Settings are, so it's a mini ship at normal speed. So now if we go play, it looks normally, but then I get thrown off track by the big ship. And I know it's there, so I can counter for it and win the level. Of course, I'm stupid, so I fail at 71. And this is kind of stupid because I have seen so many featured levels by multitude of creators that just think that this is a good idea. Now, I'm not just talking about a single portal, I'm also talking about people putting at least 5 portals in a row, and it's super fast, you can't see your character, which is the most important thing that you can have in Geometry Dash, your ability to see what's happening. And by making portals invisible like this, it removes it. Now, there are of course instances in which it can actually be used in a good way. Now, for instance, I've got right here a green portal, cube portal, and I want to make it look nicer. So, of course I'm upside down, maybe I'm in an upside down ship mode, but I want it to go back to a normal cube, so we land on the ground rather than falling up into the sky. Now, this kind of looks a bit cluttered, and maybe if I've got to make it, big, and I've also got to make the screen return to normal with, the mirror portal, this looks kind of cluttered, and you can't really see what's going on. So if I break it down right here, so there's the right side up, this is the right side up portal, there's the big portal, this is the base, this is the mirror portal. So the mirror portal probably has to stay, however you can probably tile it so that it stays right behind the portal. Now, the cube portal, this one, could easily be invisible, so we just give it the right group and it becomes invisible. And this one, I think these ones are quite important, and since it's the same color as the cube portal, you could probably blend it together like this, and it would look quite nice without having to sacrifice the ability to be able to see what portals you're doing. This is all I really have to say for this one. Let's move on to the next thing on my list. So, another thing that really, really irks me on the list is custom portals. Now, of course, I'm not talking about the whole thing about custom portals. I'm talking about when people don't know how to do them. So instead of making the portal visible and easy to see, or very obvious what it is, a lot of people I've seen do this. They just do swirls. It looks like I'm about to go in a ship section, but instead I'm getting put into a ball section, which totally goes against what I think, and it requires a lot of memory. Now, like, this could be good for a memory demon, a very memory, you gotta memorize everything single little click. However, this isn't good if you want to actually play like a normal level. This just kind of gets in your way, it's really annoying, and you have no idea what's going. So I made this easier, much better custom portal in like 5 minutes. I know it's really bad, but at least it gets the point across on what portal it's actually supposed to be. So now if I hit play, you go up to it, oh, it's a red portal, it must be a ball portal. I'm prepared for that ball part now, right? That's really easy to do. It's not like I threw this together in 30 seconds before I started recording. It's not hard. It's incredibly easy to actually do something so simple, and yet people still don't do it. Well, that's pretty much all I have for this one as well, but one more thing, if you want to actually if you want it to be really normal and kind of just have it relatively normal, you don't need to make it invisible. Like, the portals are really good, they're easily recognizable, people know them just by looking at them once. And you can keep it that way, or you can make it blaringly obvious that it is that kind of portal. Alright, I'm gonna move on to a couple things that are outside creator/editor stuff. Let's move on. So outside the editor and its, quirks and things that people do that kind of really annoy me, there are a few things that, in the game, the base game, the easy game, that kind of quirk me. They make me they kind of make me a bit uncomfortable. They're really annoying, and most of them exist within the actual creator zone. So I'm gonna kind of go through a few of these and kind of list them. So let's move on. First thing I have a quirk with is map packs. Now, this isn't really a huge thing, but I play the map packs sometimes as a bit of a practice, the later ones, because those are really the only good ones. And that's the problem. With the easier packs, it kind of becomes really repetitive, and the levels are older. Now, this is why Gauntlet was introduced in the first place, to kind of give a new map pack kind of theme. Now, people still play these, and they beat these, and that's cool, but it really annoys me how these map packs are still kind of here. Because it doesn't make sense at all that these map packs are still an integrated thing in the game. Yes, they're an extra challenge, yes, they award you coins, but what's the point? What is the point of keeping old levels in a map pack unless you're updating them? I think only 3 were added in when 2.0 came out. I joined in 2.0, so I don't know that. So, the map packs kind of died after the 1.9 update, which is what people say. And that does drive me up the wall. Alright, well, nothing really else to say here. Let's move on. This is the magic section. This contains levels that are over 10,000 objects. Now, I don't mind a lot of the levels in the magic section. They are people who are new to creating levels, and they made a thing with a lot of blocks, at least 10,000, right? That's my problem. Now, ever since kind of, more detailed blocks have been added, and you actually have to add more blocks to create a block worth of blocks, that's kind of hard to explain. The object limit of 10,000, for the map packs, it feels really low. I don't like how you only have to do 10,000 objects to reach the limit required to actually get your level in the magic section. Now, it is a good way to get your levels kind of noticed, but I've noticed that a lot of the lower quality levels are only about 10 to 15,000 objects. They do the bare minimum required to get in the magic section, and that kind of doesn't really push people to think, oh, how about I actually really try to make a good level, right? So, pretty easy thing. There's a lot of levels here that are good. They're really good levels. And I have to say, I really enjoy trolling the magic section and congratulating people on how good their levels are, right? And so, this just kind of annoys me. Being repetitive here for the sake of being repetitive. 10,000 objects, bit too low. At least 15,000, maybe 20,000. 20,000 would be my kind of object. That would be my ideal amount. That would be the thing that I wouldn't mind in the slightest being the amount of objects that a level should have. Alright, moving on. Now, this isn't the featured section, this is the trending section. The trending section is the, basically, a system that ranks the levels by the amount of, like, the speed that they're gaining downloads and likes. I think that's how it works, at least. Now, this is a pretty cool system. I like how it gets all the it adds the featured levels, and if there's, like, a non-featured, like, popular creator level or a really good level that's being worked on, it would actually, like, climb the ranks. However, this, because RobTop hasn't thought about bots and like bots and things like that, this trending section has no purpose. It's all it takes is a free like bot, and it'll get your level straight up to the trending section, and a lot of people will play it for some reason. Now, this is something that can easily be ignored, but if there wasn't a trending section, there wouldn't be a huge point in like-botting levels, right? And then we would actually have some fairly download-heavy levels, right? It's pretty simple, and I find it, like... And this is something that really... kind of... something that has no purpose. You get what I mean? If it has no purpose, what is the point of having it there? So that's really all the kind of things I could really think of about this video. Only about 6, but that's all I could really think of. I don't hate Geometry Dash. It is a really fun game, and it's the reason my YouTube channel is where it is right now. However, these things kind of need to be fixed, or they kind of need to be, people need to get the right idea. I hope that if you make these mistakes in the editor, that you listen to this advice, that you actually, like, I really love seeing people go from being this basic creator that places blocks to create a level, to create it to someone who creates something truly amazing. Well, thank you guys for watching this video. This is GDO Thinrix, and I will, I guess, see you in the next scripted video, or the next, stream. Alright, bye! Also, if you haven't already, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. I really want to try and hit 400 subscribers before the year is over. Thanks.